Here's a young man who has some natural raw talent that he's not really developing because he can make fast money.
Dude in the city. So yeah, we relate. I mean, except for the, the drug deals.
What inspired me to write Redeemer was that I had 3 stories that popped in my head from time to time. One was about a young man that I knew that had been involved in a bad drug deal. And as a result, he changed his life around. The second was about my grandmother, who had a very difficult time one evening getting out of the bathtub and ended up staying in the tub all night long and being found by my mother the next day. And the third was just about a young man that I used to work with on one of the production sets I worked on. And he was just a person who loved clothes. He was always just I call it the clothes horse, but he was just a freak for fancy clothes, fancy shoes. And I just blended those 3 elements within the story.
It was such a pleasure to find out that she was doing this because we had a Spa Girls Day down in Glen Ivy, and she said, I want you to read something. And it was the short, The Redeemer. So I'm so happy that she's doing it. So when I got the call, I said, you're doing it. It's nice to see something go from the page to, actual fruition. So I'm excited about it, happy to do it.
I was shanghaied. She came and hit me with a bat in my head and dragged me in. And now Irma's a friend of mine from the Directors Guild, and she had mentioned that she was planning to do this project, and I said if I could help on it, I'd be happy to do so.
The wonderful thing about casting Redeemer is that, I knew a number of wonderful senior actresses, and black females just don't get an opportunity to work that often, especially if you're over 60. And there was a wonderful actress that I had known for many years. Her name is S. Pearl Sharp, and I just needed to have her on my team. I thought she would be a wonderful grandmother. She's still quite beautiful, she's sassy, she's intelligent, she's got a lot of light and heart in her heart, and I just think she was the perfect choice, and I wrote it with her in mind.
More than a year ago, I think, Irma said she had a script that she was doing and she wanted me to do the part of the grandmother. And I said, yeah, okay. And then I think she sent a copy of the script a few months later. I'm sure it's been more than a year, maybe 2. And then a few months later she sent another version. Then she said she wasn't dealing with it right now, and then it came up again. And that happens a lot in this industry. And last February we were at an event together. She was with Pam, and we ended up sitting together, and she said, oh, by the way, what is your schedule for March? Because I think we're going to shoot this in March. And I was like, oh, really? And then from that point it was kind of on. So
She read with me in my audition, and the chemistry was there in the audition. So when I was called back about the role, I was like, well, is the person who read with me going to be reading my grandmother? And they said, yeah, she's already cast. So I was like, shoot, this is going to be easy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what it is, or I don't know, but I think the chemistry was there from the audition, and then we just took the extra effort to build onto it from there. Working with S. Pearl has been great. Before we first did rehearsals, we sat down and went to this Jamaican spot and just had some food and just talked a little bit. Got to know, where she came from, her whole acting background. Told her a little bit about myself as well. Her desire to get in the character really motivated me, and I really respected that about her as well.
She doesn't look like your typical grandmother because, the new 60 today can be the new 40.
As she got more of the script, she said, there's some nudity in it, your grandmother, but you have to, be partly nude. Would you mind doing that? And I said, yes. I have never done that before on film. This is the first time.
And what was that experience like?
I was okay with it. I'm 67 now, so, I'm more comfortable with things. And I trusted her. That's the key thing. I trusted her. Yeah.
But that's what I needed in this grandmother. A grandmother who has just an unflappable love for her grandson. She just wants the best for him. She spoils him. She coddles him. But she also, raised him after his parents died, and she is the perfect person because she's still the matriarch, and she has a lot of old school philosophy, but she's young at heart, so she can identify with him just as a younger, say, mother would, or even a friend.
I think at the core of the story is just the relationship between the grandmother and the son, you know, no matter what they're going through. And I love family stories and strong black family stories. So I really loved it.
This is not